Do you believe this? Just by doing one small thing within the first hour after you wake up, you can rewire your body's natural ability to perform even after 50. And no, it's not a pill. It's not a supplement. It's not some overpriced treatment plan being pushed by late-night TV. It's something so simple, most men skip it without a second thought. And it might be the very reason their vitality fades with age. You see, if you're over 50 and feeling like your energy, performance, or confidence isn't what it used to be, you're not alone. But here's what most men get wrong. It's not your age. It's your blood flow. And yes, science backs this up. A major study from Harvard University revealed that over 70% of erectile dysfunction cases aren't caused by low testosterone, but by something far more overlooked: poor circulation in the smallest blood vessels, especially those leading to the corpora cavernosa, the erectile tissue of the penis. That's right, this entire system can get quietly blocked over time. And the worst part? It often starts with what you do or don't do right after waking up. How you wake up sets the tone for how you age. In today's video, I'm going to show you a simple 3-minute morning routine that boosts circulation, supports hormonal function, and helps reignite your natural physiological reflexes without pills, procedures, or gimmicks. And if you stick with me until the end, I'll share a little-known bonus method, something many of my patients call the missing link in their recovery. But first, let me ask, where are you watching this from? Leave a comment below. I'd love to know where our community is tuning in from. And if this kind of honest, science-backed content speaks to you, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. I release videos every week to help men reclaim their vitality with clarity and confidence. Let's begin. Many men over 50 are convinced that their best days are behind them. They tell me they feel tired, less driven, and disconnected from the man they used to be. They assume it's just aging. But the truth is, what they're feeling isn't age, it's the silent breakdown of blood flow. More specifically, it's the gradual weakening of the tiny blood vessels that control vitality, energy, and performance. Your body isn't giving up, it's just being ignored. Research from Harvard confirms this. Over 70% of erectile dysfunction cases aren't due to testosterone loss. They're caused by poor circulation to the penis, particularly to the corpora cavernosa, the two sponge-like chambers that must fill with blood to create an erection. If blood can't reach those tissues, no amount of desire, emotion, or willpower can compensate. It's not about drive, it's about delivery. This issue, called endothelial dysfunction, narrows the inner lining of your blood vessels and cuts off the body's ability to respond naturally. You may still have the hormones, but your vessels can no longer carry the signal. That's why so many men feel desire without performance, frustration without explanation. But this process is not final. It's not irreversible. With the right cues, your body can begin to reopen those pathways. Just by restoring blood flow and stimulating nitric oxide, the molecule that signals vessels to expand, you can reignite functions you thought were lost. And it all begins in the morning. That window right after waking is when your body is most sensitive to biological signals. Hydration, movement, and nourishment during that time aren't just healthy, they're essential. If you start your day wrong, you're setting up a cascade of poor circulation. But start it right, and your body will begin to remember what it was built to do. Most men don't realize how much damage is done in the first 30 minutes of their day. It seems innocent. Waking up, checking your phone, skipping breakfast, pouring a strong cup of coffee. But these small habits repeated daily have real physiological consequences, especially after 50, when your body becomes more sensitive to internal signals. The first actions you take in the morning can either prime your body for vitality or silently sabotage your circulation and hormonal balance. After hours of sleep, your body is mildly dehydrated. Your blood becomes thicker, your vessels are constricted, and your nervous system hasn't fully activated. Without hydration or movement, blood flow slows, and nitric oxide, the molecule that keeps your vessels flexible, remains dormant. Add caffeine on an empty stomach, and you've now increased vascular tension and reduced oxygen delivery to critical areas, including the pelvic region. This missed opportunity is what medicine refers to as failing the early physiological activation phase. It's a period when your body is supposed to wake up, rehydrate, move, and prepare for function. When that phase is skipped, the consequences aren't immediate, but they compound. Over time, low blood flow becomes your new normal. Reflexes fade, hormones become imbalanced, and the body stops prioritizing the systems that are essential to male health. A friend told me he hadn't experienced a morning erection in years, but after just 2 weeks of correcting his morning routine, hydrating, moving, and eating with purpose, his body started showing signs of recovery. It wasn't magic, it was biology. When you fail to give your body what it needs, in the first hour of your day, everything downstream is affected. But when you change the signal, your body listens. And even after decades of decline, it can begin responding again if you give it the chance. When I first introduced this natural recovery method, most men were skeptical. After years of being told that medications or surgeries were the only solution, it's hard to believe that a simple morning routine could make such a difference. But the truth is, your body doesn't need to be forced into function. It needs to be signaled. And the clearest signal you can send happens first thing in the morning, when your biological systems are still in a transitional state, ready to respond if you give them the right input. Step 1 is hydration. 2 glasses of plain room temperature water taken immediately after waking help rehydrate the body, thin the blood, and allow circulation to resume at a healthy pace. During sleep, fluid levels drop and blood becomes more viscous, slowing down flow to critical regions. Without hydration, the circulatory system struggles to deliver oxygen and nutrients where they're needed most. Step 2 is movement. Just 2 to 3 minutes of light physical activity, stretching, joint rotation, or walking activates the sympathetic nervous system and directs blood flow to the pelvic region. This not only nourishes the genital tissues, but also reawakens nerve signals associated with physiological reflexes. Step 3 is targeted nutrition. A breakfast rich in antioxidants and healthy fats supports hormone production and vascular health. Foods like boiled eggs, berries, unsweetened Greek yogurt, and raw seeds provide essential nutrients for testosterone regulation and nitric oxide production, while avoiding inflammation caused by sugar and processed carbohydrates. These 3 steps work together. Hydration boosts circulation, movement directs it, and nutrition sustains it. When done consistently, this simple routine forms the biological foundation for long-term vitality, not as a quick fix, but as a daily rhythm that reminds your body how it's meant to function clearly, naturally, and without external aid. One of the most powerful moments I've experienced in my career came from a simple message sent after just 1 week. It read, "I woke up this morning and felt like I'm coming back." Those words may sound small, but for a man who has spent years disconnected from his body, they carry more weight than most people can imagine. Because for men over 50, the return of a morning erection is not just physical, it's proof. Proof that the body still works, that blood is flowing again, that life is still present. It's a sign that something has shifted at the core level. That message came from a 56-year-old man who had been living in silent frustration. He had accepted that the best days were behind him. He'd tried pills. He'd considered giving up. But instead, He gave 1 week to the 3 simple morning habits: hydration, light movement, and nourishing food. And his body responded. Not with fireworks, not overnight, but with steady, quiet change that he could feel. This is what I see over and over again. A gradual return of function. Afternoon fatigue fades. Sleep becomes deeper and more restful. And most importantly, confidence comes back. Not from ego, but from the deep reassurance that your body is still capable. This isn't about tricks or temporary boosts. It's about restoration. Your body has mechanisms that are designed to respond to the right signals. When you provide those signals consistently, especially first thing in the morning, you create a cascade of recovery. Blood vessels begin to reopen. Hormones stabilize. Nerves regain their sensitivity. And performance returns not because you forced it, but because you nurtured it. 1 week of consistency can start a transformation that no prescription ever truly delivers. This is not a short-term fix. It's not a clever trick or a quick boost before a date. What I have shared with you is a language, a way of communicating with your body that, over time, leads to lasting restoration. The men who make the biggest transformations aren't the ones looking for magic pills. They're the ones who show up every morning, repeat the same simple steps, and trust that biology will respond when given the right input. The results may not shout at you. They arrive in quiet signals. Deeper sleep, clearer thoughts, a subtle yet undeniable shift in presence and energy. Every time you hydrate your body upon waking, you're thinning the blood and telling your vessels it's time to move. Every time you move, even gently, you're activating systems that direct blood flow to where it matters most. Every time you choose a breakfast that supports hormones instead of damaging them, you're telling your body it's still worth supporting. These aren't just habits. They're messages. Repeated day after day, they become a new rhythm, one that restores circulation, balances the endocrine system, and reawakens the nervous system's natural responses. The decline you felt wasn't inevitable. It was the result of long-term silence between you and your body. But that silence can be broken. It already has. If you've started this process and felt even the smallest shift, it means your body is listening. The key now is consistency. These daily rituals are your blueprint for sustainable, drug-free recovery. Not just for performance, but for confidence, identity, and connection. You don't need to be perfect. You just need to keep showing up. Because with each morning you choose health, you rebuild the foundation your body needs to thrive. Not just now, but for every chapter ahead. If you've made it to the end of this video, I want to thank you. It means you care about your health, your confidence, and the life you still want to live. And that matters, because aging doesn't have to mean decline. It can mean refinement, clarity, and strength if you know how to support your body the right way. The habits we covered today aren't complicated. They're not expensive, but when practiced consistently, they work. They restore what time and stress have taken, and they remind your body that it's still capable of showing up with strength, energy, and purpose. So if this video gave you insight, if it gave you hope, or even just a small spark of motivation, I'd invite you to subscribe. This channel is here to guide you, not with hype, but with science-backed strategies for men who want to live fully at every age. Tap the like button, share this with someone who needs it, and hit the notification bell so you never miss a future video. We're building a community here, one where men over 50 can reclaim their health, confidence, and vitality one morning at a time. And I'd be honored to have you on that journey.